Good morning. Welcome to Thinking is Contagious. I hope you had a good Labor Day weekend. Started reading John Bolton's book, The Room Where It Happened, and I'm probably halfway into it by this point. And it's so far, and again, I'm going to reserve my total judgment on it until I'm done, obviously. But I've been wondering since the book came out, and since we're in the midst of this uh, election campaigns of both parties, I've been wondering why we haven't heard more about the book and it hasn't been used more of a weapon by the left against Trump. And really, that's the reason why I decided to start reading it. Uh, and I know why now. Very clearly, I know why now. And it's obvious, even in the first couple of chapters. Bolton's view of Obama Biden is that they were probably the worst thing that's happened to this country as far as um, our vulnerability and susceptibility to the outside forces of terrorism, and specifically Iran and Russia and China. Um, Bolton categorically says the Iran nuclear deal was absurdly, ridiculously horrible for this country. Um, Bolton is very clear that Obama brought Iran terrorism back to life with the injection of the pallets of cash and then the subsequent release of frozen assets. And Biden was an integral part of that. I think it is pretty evident when you start reading the book that the reason why this book has not been weaponized by the Democrats is simple. It's because although it takes its jabs on Trump's character and Trump being flip-flopping, uh, changing his mind constantly, and some of his conduct, the biggest bullseye that it puts on anything is how Obama and Biden sold this country out to terrorism. So I encourage you to read the book. I encourage you to understand what he's talking about. And I'm willing to take the good and the bad against Trump with it, because I think overall it paints a very clear picture of the ineptitude, at least ineptitude, in over their head of Obama Biden. And in my opinion, the corruptness of Obama specifically. I've always taken the position that Obama's rapid rise to prominence was because the far left was looking for an individual that, in return for power, fame, and fortune, would be willing to sacrifice anything, would be willing to say anything, would be willing to accept any and all collateral damage, which could be a result of his actions, in order to arrive at where he was seeking to arrive, knowing full well that it was his only avenue to arrive at a position of power and great wealth, because otherwise he didn't have it in him. He was nothing more than a two-bit community activist. And I really believe that that's how Obama got to where Obama got, is because he was willing to sell his soul to achieve his power. And I think this book pretty much reinforces that position. I'm going to close with this thought that I had. You know, my program is called Thinking is Contagious. And after starting to read this Bolton book, and based on what I have seen happening in this political campaign, I'm going to add a little something to it. Thinking is contagious. And the Democrats and the left, the liberal left, are feverishly working on a vaccine to prevent its spread. Thank you. Have a good week.